Welcome to the Girls Restroom. Y'all would not believe, like, what? We are on episode 8. Episode 8. I have recorded 8 episodes. Like, if ain't nobody proud of me, bitch, I'm proud of me. We launched last month, June 12th, and here we are, like, for the supporters that have been holding it down with me, who've been in the bathroom with me, venting and healing and learning and growing, most importantly, I'm so grateful for you. Y'all keep me going. Y'all always screenshot when y'all listen to me, and it be at the most random times, and y'all post it and let me know, like, girl, I fuck with this. And I really, 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 really appreciate that. And I will continue to support you guys and being that big sister to y'all as y'all are just walking with me through this journey. And I'm just so excited for everything that I have coming forward with the Girls Restroom. So let's get into some things. Okay, so this episode, oh, thank you again. I said all that just to say, like, okay, let's get it. No, for real. Thank y'all. I love y'all so much. And, bitch, we here at episode 8. Welcome to the Girls Restroom. Okay, today's episode is breaking generational curses. And it's so important to break those generational curses that we have as Black people too in our families. And I feel like this era of like the millennial era has really been doing a good job at that, because our parents they were so rough on us and so unfair to us as a whole, because they had to grow each other up, because they grew up in that crack era, if that makes sense. A lot of people, everybody's families are different. I'm not saying all Black people come from the same struggle. However, we do with certain things, and it's so important and those issues are way bigger than us. So it's so important for us to break away from those things or whatever. So, of course, I always start the show with a little advice on how to move forward and how to get your head in the game. So I always let people know to connect with their inner self and find hobbies like drawing, writing, just going for a walk, just any little thing that's out of the ordinary that will find you peace. If it finds you peace, do that, because baby, you need time for yourself. You need time to sit, think, and release and do all the things. And I know some people be funny and be like, you need to go touch grass, blah, 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 but no, go touch some grass. Take them little funky ass socks off, them shoes, and go put your feet and them toes between some grass and feel grounded with the universe and God and what He, put on this earth to, you use the tools that He put on this earth for us to use it for. Like, grass is green, and it will always be green on the other side if you choose to walk in the right direction. Okay. So that is my little, TED talk for the beginning of the show. Okay, so I really want to dig back into the childhood trauma of things when I was speaking about like how we grew up and the things that we went through as children because of our parents having to raise each other in that era. It was a really nasty era for the millennials growing up. And because like I did discuss, it was around the crack era where our parents had to figure some shit out, and it was just different for Black people at that time. Like, Black men was broken from homes, moms was out on drugs, all kind of crazy things just kind of started happening in the 80s. that kind of like affected us today, because like I spoke on previous episodes before, trauma does pass down. However, we are now to the point where we're recognizing that, and we want to, and we're the shift, we're the switch. And also I feel like we are a good balance too, because we lived those times in the 90s where everything was just beautiful, golden, and just like thriving. And then now we're seeing like so many different changes and what's going on around us today in America, and we're actually investing in things to get like our DNA and find out our history, and keeping things like that alive. And I think that is a beautiful thing, and I think that we should continue to do that. But in order to get to those type of spaces, we have to be good within ourselves. So back to self-love and inner healing. And recently, I literally have started like speaking to Kelvisha. And for those of you who don't know, who listen to my podcast because you stumbled across it and don't know me as Coco the Goat or Kelly or Kelvisha, whatever you know me by, Kelvisha is the name that I was born with, honey. But of course, I'm an Aries, so I had to rename myself because that just didn't work. I keep her protected. And but that is part of the kind of the reason why I rebranded myself to a whole nother type of girl. But that's another story for another day. However, I keep Kelvisha guarded and protected because Kelvisha is very vulnerable. Kelvisha is the one that loves her and will ride for you or die for you, and sometimes will put you on the front line, but put herself on the front line before I do myself. But I'm over that. Like, I've healed past those traumas or whatever and healed that. But I had to start speaking to that little girl and getting back into that imagination space that little girl had and wished that she wanted, and this and that and third, and just kind of heal her and listen to her and be like, oh my God, let me take a step back, let me think, let me meditate, and let me like listen to that little child that's in me that wants this or wants that, or didn't deserve this or didn't deserve that. And I feel like it's such a beautiful thing. Like, you have to recognize all of the things that you went through, which were good and bad, that made you who you are today. And once you like get to the point where you recognize, then you're on the right steps. You recognize, heal from that, and then you take accountability on what you can take accountability on, like throughout the whole journey, like, because it's just not that little your little girl energy can be you when you were in high school. As we get older every day, as we get wiser, the little girl in us grows as well. So we're healing different parts of our childhood, and I'm literally just now reaching to that toddler, that girl. Like, oh my gosh, she was just so dreamy. She thought she had it all figured out. She was the boss. She was, like, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that, judging grown people like, why are you doing this? Because I'm not gonna do that when I'm older. Like, just so much smarter, so much determined and ambitious, and meant every word I said, because that's what I said. I think it took adults around me to be like, instead of adults around me at the time feeding into that energy and reassuring me that I can be those things, and just pouring into me all the good things, they didn't, out of fear, because, oh well, just wait. Like, have you ever like remember, like, take it back to your childhood, and you remember like when you said something to an adult or something like, when I grow up I want to be this, and they say, oh well, just you wait and find out. Like, I don't even do that to children these days, like especially students and stuff that's like graduating high school. They're like, some people like, they may be like, I'm ready to graduate, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, Graduation is a beautiful and emotional thing for some. Not everybody has the emotions I have. However, I always tell them, live in the moment. You don't get that time back. So live in the moment and enjoy it. And instead of people telling me that versus speaking out of fear and speaking down on me and my downfall already because of their situation or what they got going on, I don't do that as a parent. Like, as a parent, Kason tell me, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. Like, and I do the fundamental work that comes behind it, like the foundation of it. And I let him know, like, okay, well, if you want to do this, you got to do that. You need to know how to do this. You need to be, like, you need to know how to count to this. You need to know how to do this. Well, when you go to school, I'm laying out the groundwork. Okay, that's what you want to be, then let's be it. Like, we're gonna be the damn greatest at it. The only thing I've very much came to his senses about is, like, he'd be like, Mama, I want to be Batman. I'm gonna go save the world. Like, okay, baby. Like, you can save the world in so many different ways, but Batman doesn't exist, baby. Like, Batman, you ain't finna put on no cape and no leggings and no belt, honey, go jump building to building, child. It just ain't gonna work here in America. Like, I don't know, honey. They gonna put you in a psych ward case and that ain't gonna work. But we gonna figure out how, realistically, we can get you to save the world. So that it starts from there. And I think me becoming a mom is really what pushed me into loving that little girl more, because I see so much of myself in my son. And it's like, literally, I have that little girl in human boy form, if that makes sense. Like, when I'm speaking to him and I'm telling him things, and I remember that I was a kid that kind of traumatized me or either stuck with me when my parents told me or elders told me when I was a kid, I am very much careful what I say, and even like very much careful what I say and what he hear when I know he's around and listening. So that's just a whole nother level chat. So just like with everything else, I really truly feel like breaking generational curses start with us. I can't sit here and tell you exactly what to break and what not to, because I'm not there in everyone's home to know exactly what it is, but I can relate to my situation, and that's just it. And it's the smallest things, like, I have mom guilt sometimes because I feel like I've always wanted to raise my baby in a home with a family. And now that he's old enough, he told me the other day, like, Mommy, I'm a big boy. Like, you gonna need another baby soon because I'm a big boy. And I also want a new dad. And I was just like so heartbroken because he don't have those things, and I feel like I failed him in a way because I grew up in, with my parents co-parenting, but going over to my dad's house, he had his first wife, and then they divorced or whatever, and then he had his second wife. And it's just like, I never looked down on my mom for being less of a woman because she wasn't his wife. However, the family dynamic that I have on my dad's side in home was very different from what I grew up with within my home. And it's a lot of trauma, a lot of personalities, a lot of different just things that I don't want my child to go through or see. And I'm relating it back to that because it's firsthand. Like, that's where I was majority of the time in my mom's custody. So it's not like, I'm not like really I'm not bashing her at all or saying anything, negative, because she did a damn good job. None of us been to jail. None of us have been, in situations where, we just ain't right, so, and as a single mom, like with different baby daddies, she did the damn thing. She did what she could do with the help of my grandmother. So immediately, two strong women. But then sometimes I have to kind of break that down a little bit when I get around my dad, because I'm so independent. Like, when I get on my dad's side, it's just like, I do have a softer girl era in a way, because I don't have to work so hard or be so hard around it because I'm daddy's girl, you know? So it's different from growing up in that dynamic, but I've always felt left out when like coming around on like the black sheep or not really wanted regardless of anything. So I've always wanted that different from my child. And I don't know. It's hard. It's hard, I will say. So, but in my situation, however, I really couldn't help that the dad wasn't in the home because, like, you know, God needed him a little bit more than I did, yeah. So, that's that on that. However, like, it's not too late. It's not too late to make it happen. And eventually I will. That's like my dream goal is to be like a wife. Like that's the end goal, to be a healthy, wealthy, happy wife with a happy life and a beautiful family, and to give my child exactly what he wanted. Because I will say, in my mom's house, we were never lonely. Never lonely, child. Like, I never wanted kids because of how many kids my mama had, and I seen everything she had to go through. And remind you, I'm my mom's only girl and the oldest, so it was just like, oh no, this ain't for me, girl. Then I always got stuck babysitting. Oh no. It wasn't for me. Another generational thing, curse, I feel like I want to break is, I don't know. I think that's like my main one, because that breaks it down in so many areas. And then I can speak on it too, because when it comes to black families not having men involved and men in there, it really breaks up our strength. But I will say, I'm raising a man, and I'm raising a boy who will be a man, who will become a man one day. And what I won't do is baby him. Like, don't get it twisted. That's my baby boy, and I love him to death, and he's such a mama's boy. However, I install and pour greatness into him, and I pray over him, and I let him know, like, even at this early age, like, how to appreciate women, but also how to stand on your own. Like, you are a boy. You are not a man, but you are a boy. And this is how you need to handle this out of this, situation. And it's little stuff. Like, it was two little girls playing one day, and of course, him being a kid, like, he wanted to play with one of their toys or something. It was like that noodle that you play with in the pool. They were at the pool, and it was only two, and I was like, Kason, relax, baby. You see it's two girls right there, and it's only two noodles. I was like, it's okay if you hang around them or whatever, but allow them to play with their own toys. Like, just little stuff like that, just showing him what it means to be a gentleman and how to be a gentleman is really important to me, and to not hinder him like he growing up like he's my man. Because I will say that's what is wrong with a lot of millennials this era. Well, I mean, hell, it is the millennials. Like, I mean, it's our generation, but this generation is the men don't know how to be the man. And to me, I feel like what a man is to me is someone who is very in tune with their masculine energy, but also has good balance. Like, knows, like, it's okay for me to be emotional as a man because I am a human. But however, like, and I'm not a 50-50 girl, but I do believe in, like, 70-30 for sure, because that's a whole nother topic for a whole other thing. But I'm just not a 50-50 girl. Like, I seen my dad bust his ass and take care of his family, take care of his wife. Sometimes put his wife before his children. And it's like no shade or anything, but like handle business with his wife and then be like, all right, let's get these kids together. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important for me to raise my son to do the same and to date someone who believes in the same thing. However, who's appreciative of the sense of independence that I do have, because I do understand that shit can happen and it could unfold at any minute and your man might need you to be his backbone. That's what we as women are supposed to be. So yeah, if my man just fall short and life hit him hard, I want to have my business on the side thriving, doing what it needs to do. Therefore, we good, baby. Get your shit together and let's get it back popping. Like, let's figure this out. Like, I got you on that end. Like, we good. We done handle that. Now let's get on the roll. Let's plan. Like, teamwork. Like, when it comes to me and relationship, like, that's what I want. I want teamwork. Like, I do what I need to do in relationships as a woman, and I'm really good at that. I just don't take no bullshit, and I'm not gonna take any bullshit. And it starts like, I love me. I love the hell out of me. Okay, so why would I allow you to come in and you want me to pay the bill? You want me to pay all the bills. You said cook, give you some booty at night. What? Like, first of all, that don't even sound right. That done pissed me off already. Why you sit and play the game all day, like, just to say I got a man? And it works for who it works for, but it don't work. I don't want it to work over here for me. That ain't something that'll ever work over here for me. Will I just sit around and just be on my ass and be like, no, this is teamwork? Like, I do understand it ain't what it used to be back in the day, where the woman just sits at home, be this beautiful little housewife, this stupid little fool, while the man go bust his ass at work and do what I gotta do, take care of, you know what I'm saying? I get that part, because I wouldn't want to do that, just because of the simple fact, like I said, like, I want to just live soft. I want to make money doing what I want to do, because I do love money and I do like the finer things in life, and I do like to pamper myself, and and I don't like to sit around and wait on nobody. Like, so that's a personality thing with me. Like, I don't like to sit and wait on shit. But however, I do feel like a man needs to play I have some sense of tradition in there. Like, like, we can modernize it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, 70-30, 70. Yeah, that's 30. I had to do the math, child, and the math wouldn't be mathing sometimes. But yes, 70-30, I'm cool with a little 70-30. But like that 50-50 shit, it ain't, because it'll never be 50-50 in a woman's world. Literally, like, why am I paying half of this, half of that, and got to give you whole ass of this good coochie cat? Like, bitch, what? You think I'm finna sit here and pay half the bills, go to work all day, and raise kids and carry them? That is a lot of work, and it's not 50-50 when it comes to a woman, because a man doesn't have to go through half the shit we have to go through as women, emotionally and mentally. So it's just like, no, me alone being a woman has already won in some of those cases. So I dare you, like, you half and half this shit over there. Like, I'm not a half and half girl. I'm sorry. I'm not better than nobody. I don't judge the ones that do it, because you might have a certain point that I am, like, just not seeing, and maybe you can just bring it to light. My feelings about it probably still won't change. However, no, it's just not for me. And I'm, like I said, we don't judge over here. We like to talk about things. So if you are a 50-50 girl and you like, let me write this bitch, because I want to express why I'm a 50-50 girl and why it makes sense to me and why it makes sense to my household and why it's working for me. Like, I am so open to know why and how, and not judge or try to push you into leaning into, what I believe in. However, I do. And like I said, like, it could balance out for some household. It could be some stuff that I'm not remember or forgetting about or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I just feel like 50-50 is for roommates. And, are we together or are we a roommate? Like, I'm coming through with, what I need to come through with. So, yeah, I don't. When it comes to breaking these generational curses, like I said, it does start with yourself, and it starts with healing within and accountability. So remember that. And also recognition. You have to recognize what it is that you are going through in order to heal those things. And you have to avoid setbacks will be the biggest fucking target that'll be at your head when you are practicing these things and want to get better and want to do more in life and break those curses and break out of what you can do. Like, even with me moving away from home, I feel like it was a curse that I broke out of, because everyone there is so stagnant. Everyone there is working in this job or that job and happy with it and okay with staying at those jobs. But I'm like, I want to be a business owner. I want to take risks. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I don't know anyone in my family that has moved away and done that besides the aunt that had moved here to do that from where she grew up and where she was from. But she moved sort of back home because like her mom grew up here and, family and stuff. So it's just not for me. So it's another thing that I wanted to do. I did not finish college. So therefore I am going back in the fall, y'all. So, hey, but that's another story for a different day. But I also wanted to prove that I don't have to be stuck in a warehouse working, sweating, wearing these thirsty ass men off all day, knees hurting, back hurt on this still ass. Like, this don't have to be my life for me to get money and for me to be successful and for me to live in my birthright. Like, that just wasn't my thing. And so many people are stuck in those places and have it figured out low key of what they want to do and have the talent and have the skills, but are so afraid to step out and walk on faith and follow God in it. And it's like you are fearful of what you already know is going to happen. It's going to be a time where you fall flat on your ass, but you're going to have to get up. So prepare yourself for that. Prepare yourself for it and just fucking do it. You know what's coming. You know what's going to come. We all fall and or come up short sometimes when it comes to certain things where we're taking risk at. Like, it just is what it is. But if you stagnant and you happy with if you're not happy with what you're doing, but you're still stuck in there, then you're making the biggest, then that's failure. Like, you're making the biggest risk right then and there. Like, like, I don't know, millennials, we different. Like, we seen both sides. Like, like, I feel like born in the perfect era of things, and it's crazy. It's crazy to see. And I'm just kind of happy I'm at this point where I am in the middle of breaking generational curses. I also noticed that I'm breaking a generational curse for my child's father's side of the family because of, they had like a broken home in sort of a way when he got, into his early preteen ages. And I'm not trying to like speak too much on his situation. However, I know Damien would wish he had the relationship with his mom like how I have with Kason, because he's spoken to me about it plenty of times. And, eventually before his life was taken, he was in that process of healing that part and, getting closer with her. So that was a beautiful thing. I'm happy he, got to do that. But I know, it's like he said so many times on what type of mom he would want for his children. And, and I mean, basically told me like, yeah, I want you to be my baby mom. But no, really, like, So it's a beautiful thing to, like, to see that I know what he went through and to hear that part of him. But also it's like taken away, because it's like, damn, like Damien was also very close with his father and daddy's boy too. So it was just like, but our baby don't have that. So it's something Kason's definitely gonna have to work on, and he's gonna have to change that, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing because it's all gonna come together. And I'm just so grateful that God showed up in our life, how he showed up, because without him I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have. And I'm just so grateful for the smallest things, my intelligence and my healthy mental, like, because without this I wouldn't know where to start or how to, but it took me being broken down and feeling like no one was around me to heal that, because I had no one to heal me. I had no hero to look up to or look to or cry to, or no one could feel what I was feeling but myself. And I'm so grateful that I had the strength, and that God gave me the strength to get up and do what I need to do and to heal. Because baby, whew. Now it didn't take, like, it did, I'm sorry, it did take a village for me to, like, I did have those people that I leaned on. Like, I wasn't solely alone, even though I felt solely alone. That's depression, but I wasn't solely alone. So shout out to my village. Finding your village really, really is important, and you have to stick with your intuition. You can't keep being around people who aren't for you. You have to be there for yourself and take accountability of why you are allowing these people who are not for you or don't have the best interest for you around you. You have to cancel those people out. You have to cancel those people out in order your healing journey. And if you have like not abandonment issues, like attachment issues, that's something you're gonna have to take accountability on and work on and recognize and let that shit go. Once you let that shit go, and I swear God has something bigger and better. The universe has something, like, it's moving things around for you that's bigger and better. It's elevating you and pushing you into a higher frequency. So it's something that you really have to do, is just start with exiting those cheesy motherfuckers at your pizza. You gotta get them gone. They gotta go. They have to go. So finding your village is another big part of helping with breaking those generational curses, and just a lot of self-healing that you want to do. And then, like, don't be afraid to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like I would tell my brother's graduating this year coming. It's his senior year, and enjoy that time. Like, you have to enjoy every day, because you're not going to get this day back. You're not going to get this day back. The time is so much more precious, and it took me losing a lot of people and seeing how short life could be in order for me to appreciate time. So I'm just grateful for the time that I have here with y'all. As you seen when I started the show off, I was letting you guys know, like, I love y'all, and I'm so grateful and have so much gratitude. And I actually sit and enjoy, and I go back and listen to my own self, and I'm like, yep, I was right about that, and it picks me back up. So this really not only helps me but helps y'all, but it helps me too, like, be a greater person. Like, I feel like I'm getting more comfortable every episode with you guys, and it's just like the smallest little things I enjoy, and I'm taking my time out, like, to do what I want to do, and just enjoying the fruits of my labor. Like, be so proud of how far you have come and what you did not turn out to be. It could always be worse. You never know. I don't know y'all's situation, just like y'all don't really know mine, but it could always be worse. So you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor and appreciate every moment of the day and live in that moment. Like, it's so important to live in that moment. And I know this sounds like this cheesy cliche stuff that people say all the time, but I'm telling y'all, from my testimony of breaking these things away from me. Like, it started with letting this shit go. And if you think about it, and if you listen to every episode that I put out in order, how it all is connecting, how it all comes together, like, you'll be like, you're right. And I started this podcast, my first episode being let that shit go, and talking about my different circumstances and issues and traumas and stuff that I've been going through a lot that people didn't know about on the back end and do know on the back end, or whatever the case may be. But it all starts with letting that shit go. I promise you. You have to let that shit go. And also, don't walk in it and say, like, I am cursed, I am this and I'm that. No, start living in your affirmations. Like, I am healing. I am growing every day. I am smart. I am making the right choice. I am walking with the light, and I am growing from everything that I have been through. I have no trauma that needs to be healed because I am constantly healing every day. Speak these affirmations into yourself. Speak them on your children. Pass that healing energy down. You have to pass that healing energy down. Pray over your babies, because grandma prayer is not going to continue to keep, it's going to work, because grandmas are powerful women, powerful healers, especially the older they are. Ooh, child, ain't nothing like a good old black granny, child. Big mama them got some powerful hands, honey. So yes, and I'm not saying those prayers are gonna stop working, but you want to make it more powerful. You want to amplify that. You want to boost it up. Like, how you had some water and that was good, but you tired, honey, and you like, okay, I want more water, I want more, and eventually you're gonna be like, girl, give me the Red Bull. Like, give me the Red Bull, give me the B12 shot, give me the B12. I want the B12. Be the B12 to the water. You're being nurtured. You're being, you are being everything. Be the vitamin D. Be like, what can we do to this water to make it, be the watermelon, honey. Watermelon made, it's like, what, 10% made of, y'all get what I'm saying. Be the power in that prayer. Keep it going, and that's what you want to keep passing down. Like, it should, when you rolling a ball of snow, you keep rolling and you rolling and you rolling, and eventually get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, treat that like a prayer. When them grandma prayers, take them grandma prayers, and you keep adding on to it. You keep pouring in that cup. And not only will it keep your children and your families connected and prayed over and protected, it does something to you too. Like, it keeps you lifted, it keeps you up, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you on your feet and on your toes, and keeps you closer to God. So with that being said, happy healing to all of you. I love y'all. And thank you again for tuning in with me. And we are breaking these chains together. We are healing. We are respected. We are connected. We are protected. You are in the light of the divine. Anything that comes your way, you are strong enough to handle. You will not let things attack you and make you, because you are that powerful. You have the power. You are powerful. You are loved, and you will get through whatever it is, that test that God is giving you. So just be patient, live in the moment, and focus on controlling what you can control. Don't try to be superhero like me sometimes. Like, we got to break that. Sometimes you got to surrender. And the sooner you surrender, the sooner things will open up for you. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is episode 8, and we are out of the Girls Restroom.